For a guy who throws himself off the steepest mountains on the planet, Jeremy Jones is amazingly sane. Though there was a time when many in the world of snowboarding might have questioned even that. You see why the sport seemed bent on turning mountains into skate parks. Jones went further, higher, deeper into the backcountry. He took a power saw to his board, swore off half pipes and helicopters, and became the greatest big mountain rider alive. To get a taste of his methods and his message, I met up with him high in the Sierra Nevadas. There's nothing quite like a snow-covered mountain to sort people into very distinct skill sets. There are the demigods who ride monsters for a living, snow porn stars who wing into the backcountry and bring their conquest back on film. And then there are the mortal masses who watch those films and spend their annual vacations on groomed greens and blues, dreaming of what it must be like in the vertical 1%. Like this guy. Usually right about here when I start to slip into kind of a Snoopy fantasy, when all of this becomes the backcountry of Alaska, and I become Jeremy Jones. Woo!
Yes. Midnight here in the Arctic Circle. Couldn't be happier.
Yes, if they ever carve a Mount Rushmore of snowboarding, Jeremy Jones is a lock. Sure, Shaun White collects pounds of Olympic and X Games medals in the halfpipe, and Travis Rice keeps redefining what's possible with helicopters and snow machines, as seen in his epic film, The Art of Flight. But Jones has shunned adoring crowds and given up on fuel-burning flying machines. He wants to seek out the most extreme runs in the world using only the power of his legs and lungs. Snowboarder magazine just named him the Big Mountain Rider of the Year for the 10th time.
So these are year bindings.
So imagine the thrill for a snowboarding mortal when Jones offers an invitation to come ride in his backcountry backyard, high above Lake Tahoe. If I ever meet this Jones guy, I want to talk about the ego that must have led him to put this name this big. That's only funny because Jones is one of the most ego-free cats you'll ever meet. Despite the exploits seen in dozens of films. His current trilogy includes the self-explanatory titles Further and Deeper, films that could not have been made before Jones decided to revolutionize the sport by taking a power saw to his precious board.
I take brand new boards, cut them in half.
Really?
Yeah, which is, you never get used to running a saw down the middle of a fresh board.
Brand new board. Yeah. A split board is a snowboard that converts into kind of cross-country skis. The design allows a rider to find runs in places even helicopters cannot reach. No lift lines.
No lift lines. No one telling you where you can and can't go.
If they're willing to put in the superhuman effort. Yeah, that is a doozy.
It just got to a point where I felt like I wasn't evolving as a person. We were running out of new terrain. I wanted to inspire people and show them that world-class free riding could be done without a huge travel budget and helicopters.
But that decision came with a massive trade-off. Films that used to take him days to shoot now take years.
Basically, this whole Massif is like no man's land.
What's the longest you've ever had to hunker down, wait out a storm?
10 days.
He had to develop world-class mountaineering skills and learn everything there is to know about avalanche dynamics.
I like this top out, bro.
I'm worried about snapping the whole thing.
When it comes to caution, he's a real paradox. A guy who will walk away from a mountain because the snow doesn't feel right, but still braves runs like this. I get the punch bowls of powder.
Right.
That to me looks heavenly. But when you guys drop into those chimneys,
right,
it's like going down an elevator shaft, surrounded by running chainsaws. What is the appeal of that?
There's something about the steeps. We now have like gravity so much at your fingertips. You're almost floating and free falling, but in total control.
Now Jeremy has 3 other good reasons to stay in control.
You got 3 more jumps, then it's jamming time, okay?
They come in the form of 2 beautiful children and wife Tiffany, who is also a snowboarder.
You never stop worrying.
You never stop?
I worry when he goes to squaw.
When he gets on a chairlift, you worry?
Yeah, totally.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, stuff can happen anywhere.
We've lost more friends at Squaw Valley than we have in the backcountry here.
How has fatherhood changed your risk management? Or has it?
Kids, they just put things into perspective, put an added weight on the importance of coming home every day. There's no question I turn back a lot more than I used to. There's a lot of ways to die out there, and the mountains are one of them. I have the utmost respect for them, but I also need to keep living my life. Top of the world.
Oh, you do this every day.
Yes, and I
You ever take it for granted? You ever get sick of going to work?
You know, I don't take it for granted when I get away from the mountains for periods of time. I really kind of get in a funk, and I, you know, it's like when I get back out for the first time in 10 days, it's like I'm a totally different person.
Altitude therapy.
Yeah, it's my medicine.
After 2 hours of climbing, it is finally time for the reward. Jeremy drops in, and I follow, clumsily. And just when we hit a groove, it's over. But the beauty of this sport is there's always another ridge to climb, another line to ride, as long as the snow keeps falling. And on a warming planet, that is not guaranteed. After seeing too many snowless mountains in recent years, Jones formed a foundation called Protect Our Winters to sound the alarm on climate change. And he's even lobbied Congress on behalf of the multi-billion-dollar snow sport industry.
It seems like society's going in a little bit different direction where they're more excited about the new app on their phone than going for a walk in the woods. And I don't think that's a good thing. I want people to get into the mountains, to love the mountains, hopefully protect them.